Hello, my name is Teacher Ben. I am here with another reflection video. It is July 30th. It is 11:30 at night, and I have just finally really gotten the chance to reflect and think about the true meaning of life, from a Christianity perspective. So, to be honest, I must admit that I am a victim of my own ambition and pride. It is quite a admittance to say that, but I should be honest with everybody. This morning, the message at church was that God actually hates pride, and so that got me thinking a lot about my years in college, where I was quite vain and very proud of myself. Um, so kind of changing gears, and I might return to that later on in the reflection. But I did want to talk about some interesting reading I have done over the years. As I talk about reading that I am doing recently, I can't neglect the book that has really changed my life a lot. I actually um, read it in 2008, and I remember the day I read it. Is the book The Secret, and it's about the power of the positive thoughts going through your head and believing good things are going to happen. And actually, the author of this book, her name is Rhonda Byrne, and you know, I, I truly believe she's done a wonderful thing. I remember one of the stories is that when she faced hardship financially, she went out on the street and started handing strangers $100 bills. And then the thought got somehow something went through her brain where she started to think, this financial situation is going to change. She went in the office and there had been some type of wire for $100,000. So, that was one of the stories that stood out to me. And then the book that I have been reading recently is actually called 48 Laws of Power. The author is Robert Greene. Um, to be honest, my first impression was this book is a little bit cynical. Some of the things, the lack of um, focus on Christianity or God, and more on power of the uh, human mentality, the human mental aspect to choose the right path. However, I got to admit that Robert Greene has a lot of truth here, uh, in that this may be the cold hard reality of life. However, I want to diverge from that. Uh, I really hope, and I do honestly believe that, despite Robert Greene's truth, I believe in some of the messages from Christianity that I heard on the radio tonight, 93.7, where some of the more meaningful uh, changes we have to make in society are coming from heart to heart conversations. You know, um, the radio station actually talked about people going door to door and making heart to heart conversations about the meaning of life and what really needs to happen. Um, so I would hope, and I do believe that at the end of the day, love would win out, and this heart to heart conversations would be the true meaning of life, um, not necessarily the cynical reality that power is the only way to you know find what you're aiming for in life, as Robert Greene says. Um, so yeah, and now I'm going to return back to the message I heard at church, and really, as I went through the day, I've been I found myself uh, numerous times wondering, this basically like a almost like a obsession that I have with mastering as many languages as I can, and it's very intellectual, a wonderful path. But could it be replaced with like um, almost an obsession with learning God's word and leading a Christian life and making that change to truly uh, pursue God with 100% of my life. Um, I have spent a lot of the day wondering if that would be a more meaningful life for me. Uh, and unfortunate that it would probably uh, be the end of my language pursuit, but I have wondered whether that would be a better life for me. So, I've had a lot of pastors who have been great friends to me, and so I can't turn my back from that reality. Um, so I want to just kind of say that as a Christian, I have made thousands of mistakes, millions, and I have problems with my Christian walk that I don't believe I'm going to be able to necessarily change like this. It takes a very strong man to make those changes, and yeah, praise be to God, to the men and women who do those changes and live that life 100%. Um, so yeah, I found myself wondering, uh, would that be an actual better life for me? And I've thought about it, and you know, quite honestly, I think the reality is that if we were to say, here's my life, I'm not going to pursue money, I am going to just pursue the spreading of God's word. I think that in the end, God would actually provide for us financially. So, um, yeah, I do believe that, trusting in God, He is not going to leave us to just starve in this world. That being said, I would like to close this reflection. I hope you were able to endure this 7.5 minute speech. Hope I didn't ramble too much. Sometimes for me to get to the true meaning of what I want to say, I need to ramble a little bit. So I appreciate everybody who has commented and followed me, and uh, I just want to say, more love to everybody, all of my audience and my family, and everybody who has been my friend through 42 years of life. Thank God, and God bless you. Bye bye.